Hey, it's Marcus Washington taking a look at the NBA, this latest version of 3 to Make 2. We're going to take a look at the NBA predictions by ESPN 24-25. Now, I'm not going to go through every major award. I'm just only going to go through the ones that count. And I'll let you know what they have. And we'll start with the NBA MVP, which they have Luka Doncic winning. He had 61 votes, 48% of them were first place, with Jokic being second, SGA being third, Anthony Edwards fourth, Giannis being fifth. And this is where I think we're going to start off with a little bit of surprise, because I think this award comes down to Doncic or Giannis. And the reason why I say Giannis is I think everyone forgets Giannis has been hurt the last couple of years. And I think because he's been hurt, and the Bucks haven't done well, I think we're forgetting how good Giannis is. Now, Giannis is better on the defensive end than Doncic is, but you almost feel like people want to go with Luka because it's almost like it's his turn. Remember the whole thing with Karl Malone and Michael Jordan when they gave Karl Malone the MVP? When if you look at the years Mike won the NBA title, you don't have that discussion. But I think I am going to go with Doncic being first, with Giannis being second. And third, I think it's going to be SGA. And the only reason I'm taking SGA is because look where the Oklahoma City Thunder are positioned compared to the Nuggets. The Nuggets might have had the worst offseason with what they lost. So it's not reflective that I think Jokic is taking a step back, or he's not as good, or that he's over. It's none of those things. I mean, Jokic is Jokic, man. He is the guy. But we have to be honest, and team accomplishments mean something. So I like Luka first. I like the Greek Freak second. I like SGA third. Now, NBA Rookie of the Year. That's the other thing where I have a lot of explaining to do. Just like most, I'm going to go with Zach Edey. Not because I think Zach Edey is the best player in this rookie draft, because I don't. 5 years from now, trust me, it will bear out that it won't be Zach Edey. I think Zach Edey gets the most chances. The problem with Reed Shepard is going to be the team he plays on and the roster they have, and the Rockets coming off a 41 game win that no one expected. No one expected them to have a 41-win season. And now there are some expectations behind it. The younger guys are taking a step forward. I mean, Shepard will play, but will he have those Rookie of the Year numbers? And the other person who I'll bring up, and I'm not saying that they'll win, but you'll see during the season why I'm saying this. Because I am out of the DMV, Washington, D.C., Virginia, Maryland area, for those who don't know, and I cover UVA in the ACC and the ACC tournament, I can tell you, watch for Bud Carrington with the Washington Wizards. I know he wasn't their first pick in the first round. He was their second pick in the first round. Carrington is a monster, and he will get minutes to put up numbers on a team that is obviously 2, 3, 4 years away. And so they're not trying to win now. He will put up great numbers. And if he stays healthy, you're going to see how talented he is. But because of the Wizards' record, he could put up crazy numbers, and they're not going to give it to him. All right, Defensive Player of the Year, just like everyone else, I'm going to go with Big Vic. Obviously, that's who they also had to win Player of the Year. By the way, going back to Rookie of the Year, ESPN did have they had Reed Shepard with Zach Edey being second and Donovan Clingan being third, followed by Castle. So that's for your Defensive Player of the Year. They have Vic being first, Gobert second, Adebayo third, Anthony Davis fourth, and Mikal Bridges fifth. I think Defensive Player of the Year comes down to Anthony Davis and Victor Wembanyama. I think Anthony Davis, who was in spectacular shape for the Olympics, if he stays in shape and relatively healthy, it'll come down to those two. But just like ESPN, man, I'm going to have to go with the Big Vic. I think he is coming off of an Olympics that has given him crazy confidence. He now has a year under his belt. And I just think that that's where the war goes this year. I think the media is probably looking to give him one too. Who will win? We're not going to do Sixth Man of the Year. By the way, being as old as I am, I remember when Sixth Man of the Year was such a big award. I remember when Kevin McHale won such a big award. The NBA has changed. It's not who your sixth man is, it's who your second unit is. So I just don't think that award has what it used to have. Most improved player, I don't like that they have Victor Wembanyama here because, come on. I think the most improved player that's on this list is actually who they have third, which is Kobe White. Kobe White, just because the Bulls aren't that good anymore, this guy is working his way up into getting into that next level of being a really good, effective, uh, win impacting player. We know he could put up numbers. He could put up crazy numbers if he want, but a win impacting player. Now the Bulls are going to have to help him out with improving that roster, maybe finding someone finally to take Zach LaVine. You don't know about that because you never know because LaVine's contract and some of the things that come with him. But I do believe that definitely Kobe White is ready to take that next step. And last but not least, who will win Coach of the Year? They have Tom Thibodeau first, Mark Adeno from the Oklahoma City Thunder second, Joe Mazzulla from Boston third, Popovich and Kenny Atkins bring up fourth and fifth. As crazy as this sounds, I am torn between Kenny Atkinson and actually Nick Nurse. If Nick Nurse can get the Sixers where the previous coaches did not get the Sixers, with the addition of Paul George, if they can threaten the Celtics for the best record in the East, I do believe they'll give it to Nurse. They have to threaten it. Boston can't win the conference by 10 games. They have to threaten that. I do. Outside of that, I think it goes to Kenny Atkinson. Atkinson is sitting in the perfect position to win Coach of the Year. Cleveland is good enough to make a big thing without being too good. And then he is a changing coach, so you can easily say, "Oh, you know, that's what it was. It was moving off of Bickerstaff to Kenny Atkinson, and he's the one who made this 7 or 8 or 9 game win difference." I think he's sitting in that perfect position, so I'm going to go with Kenny Atkinson. So just to recap, I'll go with Luka for MVP. I'll go with Zach Edey for Rookie of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year, I'm going to go with Big Vic. Most Improved Player of the Year, I'm going to go with Kobe White from the Bulls. And last but not least, Coach of the Year, I'm going to go with Kenny Atkinson over at the Cleveland Cavaliers. This is Marcus Washington. Thank you for joining me for our NBA podcast, 3 to Make 2.